Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is John. I'm a product specialist here at Shoflo, the event production software for live events. And today we are doing every other week we do a kind of a more in-depth, we call them a deep dive into some features inside of Shoflo. We record all of these. So if you go to our webinars page, you'll see at the bottom a link to or a button to see all of our previously recorded webinars. So we've gone over things like show caller tracking, timing, user permissions, and a variety of other ones, and we'll continue to build on those throughout the year. But every other week, we do those. So you go to our webinar page, sign up. You'll get updates every week or every other week when we're about to do those. So without further ado, let's kind of get started. If you have any questions on anything, either specific to this topic or another topic, feel free to shoot those in the chat, and I'll address those when the time is right. And so this week, we're going to be focusing on event templates and as well as show templates and how to kind of create that process for your team, whether it's just yourself looking for a way to kind of keep all your events that you build in order and not start from scratch, or if you're a big enterprise company looking to streamline a process and create a standard for the types of events that you're producing or executing, this is going to be a good feature dive for you guys. So let's just go ahead and get started. I'm going to do a quick little overview just because there might be a few people who have never used this software before who are just kind of jumping on. But we'll spend most of the time in the software talking through some of these things. So we are Shoflo, and we're actually located in Orlando, Florida. Been around for a few years now, and really focusing on producers and stage managers and all the production side of events to really help save you guys a ton of time on on the pre-production as well as kind of the on-site execution of events. And so Shoflo, the reality of live events really that we all know is constant changes. And so with changes comes different ways of communicating those changes and those different versions and stuff like that. And inside of Shoflo, every edit you make is real time. So that means, you make a change weeks out or the day of, an hour before the event starts. Every single person that's been invited in and collaborating with you will see that change instantly. So there's no more kind of version controlling and emailing out that version 50.5 or whatever in that mass email to everybody. As soon as they log in, or even if they are logged in and they're inside of it, they will see that edit instant. So really just eliminating a ton of time, paper waste on the in the planning phase and stuff like that. And so inside of Shoflo, on jump tabs, we have a suite of products, and those are called queue, schedule, lists, docs, and then kind of this event management aspect of it. So let's kind of just take those and take a look at them real quickly. Shoflo queue, essentially this is that rundown or that run of show that you guys are building, and you've got your items on the left, your different department columns on the right-hand side. You've got start times, durations, you can upload images, links, global highlights, all different types of stuff. But it's really just if you're building something in Excel or Sheets and it's a rundown or a run of show, this is essentially where you can kind of utilize that. You've also got, you can see your item numbers and different things on the left-hand side as well. The next product in here is schedules. Schedules is awesome. It's basically a way to create another type of real-time approach to things like a production schedule or a rehearsal schedule or maybe a week at a glance view. Those are different ways different things that you can create inside of a schedule. And then also you've got lists that you can create. Lists is a kind of a tool to use for things like maybe a video asset list or maybe it's a contact list for the event. But it's just essentially another place to create a certain type of list for things. Really what our goal here is to help accommodate all of these that entire show book that you're creating or sending around, is to bring that all in one central spot, which leads me to the last piece, which is docs. And docs is just anything you can't create in shows or schedules or queues or schedules or lists. is this spot is for you. So anything you can basically it's cloud storage event wide. So it's you can come in here, upload up to 10 things at once. We don't have a file cap. We don't have a file size cap. Only requirement is each file can't exceed 1 GB. So things like attendees lists or maybe a stage rendering or who knows a video asset list that you built alternatively somewhere else, or maybe it's a keynote or PowerPoint slides, anything that you want to share with your team or have available. This is the spot to put that into. And then the last piece is just for all you kind of event managers or people working on multiple events inside of Shoflo. This is just a view from your team dashboard, and this is where you can come in here and manage all of your events, assign custom labels, assign owners, upload event logos so your clients love it. And you can also do more of like creating events or even duplicating events, which leads into what we're going to be talking about today, which is you can always duplicate your past events to save you time building for that next event, or even create templates, master type of event templates. So maybe like a general session template or a concert template or a who knows, whatever it is, whatever the types of events you guys are doing, you can create templates for that. Use those as starting off points so you don't have to do that dreaded go into Excel, from a blank Excel sheet and start from scratch again. So that's kind of it as far as just a quick look. Again, those joining, feel free to send over questions. Happy to answer those throughout this walkthrough. But let's go ahead and jump in. I'm logged in right now as myself, John Alexander, and today we're going to be talking about all things kind of templates, event templates and show templates and stuff like that. So right here, I'm in my team dashboard, Shoflo demo events. I've got my team logo right here, which you guys can upload. I can come in here and create an event, a blank event, which is great. You can duplicate events, upcoming events, if you'd like to use those. So let's just kind of start talking about this as far as how we see a lot of teams really save a lot of time as far as templates goes. So this is going to be for people like professional sports teams or universities who do a lot of the same type of events, or even those of you who are in production companies who manage maybe multiple events for a client that's similar. Just a lot of different ways to kind of work in here. So right off the bat, what I'm going to do is just create a blank event. So I'm going to click create event. I'm going to call it, it's in the Shoflo demo events. I'm going to call this, we'll just call this a webinar template event, okay? And I'll call it location. We'll just do, we're here in Orlando, Florida. Start date, end date, 12/1, okay? Create event. And so if I come down here, we'll see right here we have our webinar template event. I'm the owner for that. I can assign a label, if I'd like, and I could add one from our list, or you can go in there and actually create your own custom labels up here under the labels tab. But we'll just kind of jump inside of here, this webinar template event, and inside of this you'll see we default a few different things, which are just a blank table, blank list, a blank rundown, and a blank schedule. And these are just our kind of demo assets. They're completely empty. But let's say that we want to build out something. So let's just kind of add this, add a show, and we'll call this GS day 1, and we'll just click create show. And inside of this show, we've got our own, these are just the blank default ones, but let's say we want to build out a structure, so we've got, and this is going to be very high level, so I don't have time to make this, very complex, but if this is something like maybe open doors, or we'll call this doors open, sorry. Doors open, and maybe this is speaker 1, and I come down here, let's add a few more items, and we have another item which is speaker 2, and so on and so forth, and maybe we've got our own set of columns that we'd like. It's production notes, audio, video, lights. Maybe we have a speakers, or and a maybe there's one that's we'll say this is stage or something like that. So we have our kind of custom thing going on, and then maybe we have over doors open. Maybe we've got like a walk-in and a opening video or something like that. And so you can just kind of see, and then maybe we've got a default durations. Maybe the walk-in always is like 20 minutes or we'll say 5 minutes. Maybe the doors open is 25 minutes. Just adding a few things in here that could be good. And so yeah, so this is just a very high level look. It's a kind of a GSA1 template per se. It's definitely not like most general session templates are, but this just kind of gives you a look at what you can do in here. So now I have this GSA1. Okay, so that's my GSA1, and I can do one thing I can do is I can actually create a GSA1 template right inside of this event. So I can create an event show template. So if I hover over this item or this GSA1, you'll see we have a couple different icons. This right here, this little cogwheel, if I click it, you'll see you can do a couple things. You can convert them to a schedule, you can convert it to a list, or you can even copy this show to another event. So that's something that's important to know. You can always copy over shows or schedules or lists into other events that you are creating. So let's say you've created something and you go, oh, I really love that schedule that I built before, which was on that one event. You can always go to that event, copy that over to another event. Additionally to that, you can click this little save button, and I can click save as template, and I can call this, we'll just call this a general session template. Okay, so then I click submit, and now we've created a general session template based on the data we had built inside of here. So now if I go to create show, I can click on show, and I can select create from template. I can go with one of my custom templates, and I can see general session template right here. Click that. Now I can call this GS maybe day 2, and click create show. Now we have a GS day 2. If I go into that, you can see we have all of that stuff that we had built out, that structure for this general session. So obviously all events are different. You know your own workflow and the types of events you guys are doing, but this is a quick way to kind of create a event inside of, or event show template inside of an event. Additionally, you can do this in the same thing with schedules. In the same way, you can save them as templates, and then when you create templates or you create shows and things like that, you can select from those as well. We also have our own templates that we give you. So if you click on schedule right here, we've got a production schedule template, a blank table, and a week at a glance. Week at a glance is really cool. If I come in here and just call this week at a glance, click create schedule, you'll see we have pre-built out this great looking week at a glance. You can obviously come in here, adjust these date ranges, things like that to be the days you'd like, and then also come through and change the data as well. But it's a good starting off point. Week at a glance is a really cool way to visualize your load-ins and all the things going on for bigger kind of types of events. So that's kind of show templates. The other thing that I'm going to talk about is the ability to create kind of event templates. So I'm going to jump back out to my team page. So I'm going to go over to the Shoflo demo events. And you can see right here, we've got our, Shoflo. This is our team management. We've got all these different events right here. But let's say, so I created this webinar template event. Let's say I wanted to use this as a template for my entire team. What you can do is you can come in here and maybe add a label like we had before called template, which I think is somewhere in here right here. It's template. It's going to always kind of stay on your upcoming events page. And from any point, you can come into this event or hover over this event and click this duplicate button. And click this duplicate button, and you can duplicate that for webinar event um, 2017, and then put your date range in there. If we want to adjust that, you can. I'm just going to leave it. Click submit, and now we've just duplicated that entire event, everything inside of it. Give it a new date range. If I open this event, you'll see I have all of those assets that I had in, the GSA1 that I built, the GSA2, our week at a glance schedule. If I had uploaded any docs into here, if I drag and dropped any keynotes or things like that, those would show up in here as well. But that's just kind of a cool look at how you can manage if you've got an event you're building on, and maybe it's a repeating type of event that you do every month, every other month. It's just a good way to kind of give yourself a good starting off point while you're managing multiple ones. The other aspect of this that I wanted to talk about, which is really cool, is the ability to duplicate past events. So after you run an event, you'll notice, for those of you who have used it before on events, and you're a team admin and you are a part of a team account, you'll see that all of your events, once they're executed, are placed in what we call our archived mode. And so you can access all of your past events by, if you look over here to this upcoming events tab, if I click this, you'll see you can access all of your past events by clicking on past events. And you can see right here, we've got all these different events that we created, little demos for people. And at any point, this one was done November 18th through the 23rd. At any point, I can come in here and I can either, I can open this and view it, and view anything in here. It is going to be in read-only mode. Archived events are in read-only mode, but you can still come in here at any point, look at this stuff, view, and things like that to kind of review your past events. Or if you want to use that event as a template for an upcoming event, it's very easy to do as well. So if I come back, click on past events again, and I have this InTouch demo event, November 2016, click the same duplicate button, and now I can call this InTouch 2017 and assign it, new date if I'd like. Whoops, I didn't click submit. I can click InTouch 2017 and give it a new date range. I'm just going to leave it for now. Click duplicate, and you'll see right here we've duplicated it. And now if I go back to my upcoming events, you'll see we have our InTouch 2017. You can always come in and change that name. I can change the date range right here if I'd like. So I can come to, we'll go to our November, whatever it is, 23rd, 2017 till November, whatever, 28th of 2017. And I can click save, and now we have our new event, which is upcoming. We're planning for it, and I can come in here and I can use the same assets that I had built before inside of this, inside of this template that we've created. So those are the few different ways that you can create templates and things like that. Other just quick workarounds and things to help. I've seen a lot of teams that have leveraged just creating these master templates for the different types of events that you guys are doing. So this is going to be more for these big production teams or big companies that are running multiple events, a lot of events, plus 10 to 20, 50 events a year. It's a great way to create a master, general session or a master concert event or a whatever, and then the event managers or those that are assigned to those events to work on them can just go to that event, duplicate, give it the name, that Walmart sales meeting or whatever, the date range, click submit, and now they're leveraging the layout and the standard that you've assigned to those types of events. They can obviously go in there and change what they need to do, but it gives them a good starting off point at any point in time. That is it. Let's just kind of stop for a second, see if we have any questions. Do have one question from Jack. He's asking, how long are events in archive mode? Great question, Jack. All of your events, this is just important to know, whether you purchased one-off events through our single event plan or you purchased bulk events, or you're in an annual license with one of our enterprise accounts, all of your past events are always available to you. We never get rid of any of the data. They'll always be in your past events section, so you can, at any point, whether you have used us yesterday or you haven't used us in years, you can log back into your account using your same login and password, email and password, and access your past events right here, and those will always be available in read-only mode for you. In addition to that, for those that are purchasing single events, if you come back, maybe you want to do that same event next year and you hadn't used it again since that previous event, let us know and we can access your account and duplicate that past event for you so that you don't have to start from scratch again at any point in time. So those are just a few of the things which are, I think important to know for those of you building and trying to utilize different types of templates. And I hope it was helpful. If you have any feedback for us, love to hear it. My email is john at shoflo.tv. So again, that's John right here at shoflo.tv, and you can access me, email me any questions, feedback on maybe how this demo was at any point in time. You can also find us at any point in this little chat icon in the bottom right. Feel free to send us over questions, feedback, things like that. That's available inside the app and also on our marketing site. And then, those of you too who are joining on the webinar, we do these every single week, and we also have previously recorded a ton of them. So if you go to our showflow.tv weekly-webinar page, you'll see we do a basics demo every week, 12 p.m. Eastern, and every other week we do at 1 p.m. do a feature dive like today. So be sure to sign up for those. And if you ever want to access any of our past webinars, click on the See All Videos, and you are going to be able to watch at any point in time any of these previously recorded ones. These are all about 30 minutes long. They focus on specific things like user permissions or show caller tracking, production scheduling, how to share things, timing, and all different things like that. And this list is only going to be getting bigger. We started this a couple months ago and have gotten great feedback, so really excited there. Thanks so much for joining. Really appreciate your time, guys. Be sure to check us out again. Tell your friends, tell your colleagues, tell those in the event industry. We are really excited to continue to build on this software and help it make your lives easier. So thanks so much. Really appreciate it, and have a great day, great week, and a great holiday season. Take care, guys. Bye.